Okay, so since I'm making some bread this morning, I thought I'd have some coffee with it. So I thought I'd add a little demonstration of my current coffee technique. I am folding my coffee filter and putting it into my new V60 coffee dripper. I'm rinsing it out off the camera, and now we have that ready. I already had measured out enough water to make a double cup of brew. So I usually make 2 cups, one for me and one for Julie. I even measured out, and just moments ago, ground about 33 grams of coffee. We'll see how much is actually going to get brewed with here. So I zeroed out my scale. And this is actually on a medium fine, and there's more in here than what I measured to go into the grinder, so there's probably some beans left over from yesterday. While that water is brewing, or coming up to temperature, I am going to explain that I also spritz my coffee beans to reduce the amount of static electricity charge. It really matters. I highly recommend doing that. So I spritz it in this container, which I put my initial amount of beans in, spritz it, put it in, and now we're all ready to go. I have 34.3 grams of coffee here. Let's see if my calculator will tell me how much water I should be pouring. So as it turns out, I happen to have a scale that mates with an app. So now I've got everything all really ready to brew with. So let me just go ahead and plug in my 33.4 grams of coffee. And then I'm all ready to go. And it'll want 504 grams of water. I'm using a technique that is called a 5-pour method. So I'll do 5 pours of 100 grams each as part of this pouring. Level this out a little bit more. Yeah. And then we will start the brew process. The app actually controls the scale, so it's also doing measuring the amount of water that's being poured, shows me the flow rate in milliliters per second, and I am just now at about 100 grams, and it took about 25 seconds there. So as you can see, the coffee is flowing through, but it's also blooming. You can see that it's bubbling up there. That's the gassing that's coming off of the coffee grounds itself. So we're waiting until 45 seconds, and then we will add our second 100 milliliters of water into the mix. You can see it's continuing to gas off, just around 200. And this app actually shows the water flow as well as the recording of the amount of water that I've placed in it. So we will have that, and I can record that to a database. The other part about this 5-pour is that you wait until it slows down. As the most it has come through, I can see it slowing down. So now I pour the next 100 in. And that's all you really have to do. You really don't need a timer, you don't need anything, and once you've measured your beans and you know how much coffee to pour, and I actually adjust my grinder so that it will be a little finer the next time if I need it to stretch out the amount of time. The goal is to try to get about 3.5 minutes here, so we'll see where we end up here. I haven't brewed this one for a few days here, so I kind of forget if I had that on a finer or a ground or a chunkier grind. So we've got our 4 of the 5 pours in. It slows down a little bit, so it's faster than 45 seconds per pour from start to finish. And then it gets slower towards the end there. So getting down to that last pour here. And I do wash off the edge, but generally I try to avoid touching the filter with the water. And here we are coming up to 500 grams or milliliters water. All right, we're there. We're just waiting for it to finish. I brew mine at just under a boil, and this new kettle I got actually is a gem to pour with. I just love it. Here it is at 3 minutes and 31 seconds. So I'm feeling pretty good that this grind was a nice mix with these beans, and we're all done. All I need is a nice vessel to drink my coffee from. This is about 220 milliliters. So I've got half for me and half for Julie. So I think I'll take her up a real cup and sip on this while I finish making bread.